The UK blames Iran for their own crime problem, as Keir Starmer claims he won't allow Iran to continue to destabilize their country.
Our message to Iran, or to any other country that might seek to foment violence, hatred, or division in society, is that it will not be tolerated.
What the hell are you talking about, man? This is in response to the Golden Greer stabbing, where a mentally ill person stabbed one Muslim and two Jewish people. You probably didn't hear about the Muslim who was also stabbed because the UK ruling class deemed that the Muslim is not a suitable victim and is inconvenient to their narrative. Stabbing people is damn near a national pastime in the UK. Meanwhile, the UK ruling class is using this random act of violence as a way to promote the anti-Semitism hoax, expand the power of the state, and promote war against Iran. So not only are they using this incident to justify escalating tensions against Iran, Keir Starmer and his fascist government are now using this in order to crack down on pro-Palestinian protests. Now you guys see why it's so important for the UK ruling class to erase the fact that a Muslim was also a victim of this random act of violence. This is just another example of how Western elites will take advantage of any tragedy in order to expand state power and to promote their never-ending wars. It's just concerning on how little they actually care about making it even sound believable anymore.
What's poppin'? Friends, it's good to be back with you guys. I'm sorry I wasn't live yesterday. Like, bro, my entire apartment complex had like a 24-hour internet outage. So I'm upset because I had this DPRK North Korea Taiwan Power Hour planned for you guys, but I rescheduled it for next week. Bro, the infrastructure out here is shit. But either way, we still got a banger show for you guys today. We still got a banger week. We're going to have our friend Alex McKay from Liberation News Network, base comrade from the UK. I can't wait to dive into this story. Keir Starmer and the anti-Semitism hoax. Labor is in trouble. UK is an absolute shithole. It's a straight-up fascist state that completely rolled back the rights of their own citizens in order to protect Israel. We covered how Rami Aldawan, friend of the show, a doctor who's being prosecuted and arrested because she's opposed genocide. There was another story I was reading today, how they are planning to lock up this guy for 13 years because he tweeted that we must support the resistance, stand with the resistance. That's what they're doing in the UK. The UK is the height of fascism right now, despite what Western imperialists and CIA propagandists will have you believe. As Zohran Mamdani and the left wants you to believe that Cuba and Venezuela engages in political oppression, there is no more tyrannical state in the world by far when it comes to clamping down on your citizens. They arrest you for saying naughty words, forbidden sentences, and more people are arrested in the UK than any other country by far. And now we're seeing arrests spike in Australia. And there are leaders in the Canadian ruling class who are mentioning how the Australian UK model is the model that they want to follow in Canada. And this is spreading all across Europe. This is the fascist retaliation to the working class becoming more class conscious, the Goyim noticing a little bit too much. And you want to know who's playing a big part of this? That is being completely left out. And I got to do this segment because no one else going to. Zohran Mamdani, Goidani, Zagran, whatever you want to call him. Once again, I bet you we're going to be the only people that do this segment. As everyone was lying about Zohran Mamdani, and everyone's willing to play this devil's bargain where they want to sell out the Palestinians and rights of people on the West just so they can get some free busing. Get the fuck out of here. because the entire United States left is going along with the anti-Semitism hoax that we have seen turn the UK and Australia into full-blown fascist states. AOC, you know that Hasan Piker can't wait to endorse her for president in 2028. We vote for good Democrats. So we're going to cover that here later. But you guys realize by supporting these progressive Democrats, we're going to support good Democrats. Every single progressive Democrat is supportive of NATO, Nazis in Ukraine, and on top of that, they are all on board with the anti-Semitism hoax. They are waging one of the largest anti-free speech crackdowns in modern time is being oversaw by a progressive DSA mayor. What did I tell you guys months ago? Well, what did I tell you? I told you guys that Zohran Mamdani was going to use the NYPD to beat the shit out of protesters, didn't I? A lot of people thought I was bullshitting. I really need people to read history, read theory, understand class dynamics. You guys know that the first thing that Zohran Mamdani did when he was elected was to push an executive order, implement an executive order, making protesting genocidal synagogues illegal. Bro, I don't give a fuck what you say about you standing up for Palestinian rights and how you don't want to visit Israel. That's one of the largest acts of Zionism we've seen a mayor have implemented. Banning synagogues who engage in the sale of Palestinian land. And then you had J Streeters. You had the Matt Duss liberal Zionists who think they're fucking slick. They will say, well, we condemn Israeli aggression in the West Bank. Remember how they say that? But if you oppose Israeli settlements in the West Bank, why are you allowing synagogues to sell Palestinian land? This is what's going on under Zohran Mamdani. Because you motherfuckers wanted free busing, and now Zohran Mamdani is turning New York into the UK. Imagine how absurd it will be, because this is a massive, massive crackdown on free speech. And Zohran head faked it. He told you guys he was going to do it. He signed the executive order, and guess who was the only one who covered it? I was. Because I'm not riding the wave of the Zohran cult. I'm not tranced by the tranquilizing drug of incrementalism and entryism into the Democratic Party. And I'm not a victim of celebrity worship, and many people won't acknowledge this, but that's 100% the reason why people have completely turned their brains off when it comes to Zohran Mamdani and organizing within the Democratic Party. And supporting NATO pro-war leftists who support a police state. This is a campaign promise broken. Because Zohran Mamdani said he was going to stop the NYPD from creating barriers around pro-Palestine protests. Another campaign promise he lied about. And I said months ago, remember when I explained to you guys how what's happening right now is extremely predictable? Zohran Mamdani kept Jessica Tisch in order to dilute his own power, in order to dilute the power of his movement, to dilute the power of his own followers. So the idea was to create conflict. Let's have Jessica Tisch, and then Jessica Tisch will undermine you every single step of the way. Then you can come out with some bullshit statement like, well, I personally do not support what Jessica Tisch is doing, even though I am 100% control of her job, the direction of the police. Progressives made the argument that we should support Democratic mayors because what they can do when it comes to reining in the police state. Now they completely ignoring that. You notice that? Now they telling people bullshit. They're telling people complete nonsense. This idea that a mayor doesn't have no way to control their police. The cops started attacking pro-Palestine protesters who are marching around the block to evade police barricades that are blocking off several streets. Bro, the NYPD created a no civilian zone, not only just protecting the synagogues, but all the streets and blocks around it, hampering the freedom of movement, violating the freedom of protest of the pro-Palestinian protesters. And now Zohran Mamdani is joining the Zionists and trying to tell his followers, hey man, we can't support any protests on synagogues. We have to respect people's religious land and religious right to protest. Fam, they ever say about, let me turn this down. We have a lot of clips of these. Will they ever say that when it comes to people on the left rightfully in their right to protest anti-choice churches? Like I remember vividly how there was like this big abortion referendum, and there was people protesting churches. Remember how people protested churches who opposed gay marriage? It's okay to protest churches if you oppose abortion, but protesting a synagogue who is actively engaging and supporting ethnic cleansing and genocide? This is the definition of Jewish supremacy. Like, this is Zohran Mamdani's NYPD. A Zionist assaulted a woman. NYPD escorted him out. 2 hours later, he attacked someone else. So the NYPD under Zohran Mamdani is literally allowing the Jewish supremacist terrorists to attack pro-Palestinian protesters because Jessica Tisch's protocol is Zionist immunity. Pepper spray, pro-Palestinian protesters screamed as they clashed with the NYPD near the New York City synagogue holding land auction for stolen Palestinian land. Over 100 anti-Zionist protesters clashed with the NYPD and pro-Israel supporters. You guys see who the NYPD works for? You guys see how the New York City Police Department, they worked on behalf of genocidal Zionists and creating a police state on their behalf? There is nothing more righteous than protesting people who support genocide and ethnic cleansing. I see the cut. Zohran Mamdani's NYPD is pepper spraying the crowd. I'm not mad at you guys. I told you guys how many times I said I'm actually very forgiving of people who are victims of propaganda. I'm going to hold the propagandists accountable. And I said before that Zohran Mamdani is the failure of the United States left for not providing the working class another option, which is why I'm very adversarial towards DSA, because DSA exists to kill any third-party movement in New York. So I'm not mad at you guys. I'm mad at the betrayal. And it's our job, unlike the sycophants you see on BreadTube, you have to understand that it's our job to hold these politicians accountable, and everyone turn their brains off and stop holding Zohran Mamdani accountable. That's why Zohran Mamdani was able to easily betray all his promises, because many people, almost every single left YouTube channel, every single one, including friends of mine, was celebrity worshiping this guy. I covered how he said he's going to crack down on anti-Semitism using the NYPD. I covered how Zohran Mamdani, the first thing he did was pass an executive order to crack down on pro-Palestinian protests. And now people are waking up on Twitter today like, oh my God, I can't believe Zohran Mamdani is doing it. He told you so. There were just people who were lost in the sauce. They was caught slipping, got a little bit too attached to electoralism, WWE style politics, and now they enabled someone who's going to implement the full Zionist agenda of cracking down on pro-Palestinian protests, but he's going to do it with a smile and with an agenda and tell you that there's nothing he can do about it. Cops, pepper spray crowd. And bro, this is what I was talking about earlier. The NYPD put up barricades for synagogues selling off land. That's how you know they're up to some. That's how you know that they know that they're up to some bullshit. Because you know it was going to be so controversial. You engaging in the ethnic cleansing and the terrorism that Israel's engaging in the West Bank. So much so that these Jewish supremacists had the NYPD on a snap of a finger set up a barricade for blocks. 2 hours ahead of a synagogue hosting a stolen land auction sale, the NYPD has deployed nearly every unit in barricades. From 66 to 67, sidewalks has been shut down and barricaded. Jesus Christ, look, cop presence higher than usual. This is insane. Hasan Piker showed for Zohran, who is currently protecting this stolen land auction. So then DSA people are like, well, don't you know that Zohran Mamdani, he condemned it. Yeah, he condemned the land sale. Bro, he's facilitating it. He passed an executive order protecting them from doing this. You have guys, there are a bunch of people on the left that is selling you bullshit. It is crazy how successful they are at it. Their message is just getting out there more than mine. Because it shocks me when I see my people that are surprised when they see this stuff. I told you guys this was going to happen. I told you guys on this channel months ago that Zohran Mamdani is going to beat the shit out of pro-Palestinian protesters. And all the people who used to care about that shit, they're not going to cover this. And if they do cover it, watch them make 1,000 excuses for Zohran Mamdani and fall for the ploy of using Jessica Tisch as the fall guy, as if Zohran Mamdani has no power here. Look, NYPD's no speech zone, bro. They set up a no free speech zone, spread 6 blocks from the event. This is what Zohran Mamdani is doing to protect Zionists. And NYPD, they pretend that he's helpless. This is the result of DSA winning elections. You guys see why we got to build a third-party movement, build a party that has party discipline, that has a principal position where we're not beholden to party bosses who are genocidal Zionists because Zohran Mamdani wants to run for Congress one day, because he wants to run to be a state senator once his 2 terms are up. People wondering why Zohran Mamdani is doing this. Fam, you can only run for 2 terms in mayor, right? In New York. Zohran Mamdani is still a young man. You guys think he's going to do anything to piss off the establishment before he becomes a senator, a congressperson? He can't become president, but the career opportunities for him is endless. He knows he cannot piss off Hakeem Jeffries. He cannot piss off anyone with power. That's why he hired Jessica Tisch in order to decrease his own power. Why are people so childlike in their political understanding that they fail to understand the devil's bargain that he made? All this for hypothetical free buses that you guys are not even getting. DSA's like, hey, we're going to implement a little bit of fascism. Let's just do a little bit of fascism so we get some social programs. I want some free buses. No one is free until we get free buses. We're not free until we get free buses. Fuck the Palestinians. Who? Yeah, he condemns Hamas. He supports Israel right to exist. He supporting genocidal synagogues. Come on, man. You're ruining my vibe. What are you, part of the Jimmy Dore level? You part of the plantation? Oh, look at Nick. He's trying to black pill A1. Because I don't want the working class to spend hundreds of millions of dollars going to a genocidal party that works on behalf of the Zionist police state, that is actively trying to drag us to the hellhole that is known as the UK and Australia. Look, this is absurd. Cops shut down whole city blocks. Look, this is the map. They shut down whole city blocks to protect the synagogue. And here's Zohran Mamdani. I like to call him Goy Donnie now. Their favorite Goy. The favorite Goy. Here he is.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you assess how you think things went last night at the Berkey synagogue protest? Do you think the police effectively enforced a buffer zone? Is that what essentially happened? And is the right to protest sufficiently protected in your view?
So she asked him about the buffer zone. I know it was hard to hear. She asked him about the buffer zone that the NYPD put up. And she was like, hey, man, remember when you talk about freedom of protest? What about that freedom of protest thing? Listen to his answer.
Yes, I think that I've made it clear time and time again that we in this city believe in the sacrosanct nature of the right to protest.
You have not been clear about that, sir. You know a politician's about to feed you some bullshit when they tell you that, hey, just to be clear, I've been clear. I said this. No, you are attacking free speech. The ability to protest a religious institution is embedded in the principle of free speech. Are you telling me if I created some sort of cult religion that says I'm allowed to break into homes of my neighbors and steal their stuff? Their home was promised to me 3,000 years ago. And then if people was upset at me and my religion, want to hold me accountable, and they show up to my damn plaque, I'm like, well, this is my place of worship. You cannot protest me. You can't touch me. That's absurd on face value. Create a religion where you can just murder people. Well, is my right? No, you are not allowed to engage in ethnic cleansing and genocide. I don't give a damn what your religion is. I don't give a damn if you're at a place of worship. But Zohran Mamdani took the side of Zionists, and now he's trying to drag the left to the right on this issue. And he's been extremely successful, like I told you guys he's going to do. So let's hear the rest of this bullshit answer.
The sacrosanct nature of the right to protest, and also are committed to ensuring that any New Yorker can safely enter or exit from a house of worship.
That has nothing to do. That had nothing to do with any right that they have. This is something that you made up, and you sound like Pete Buttigieg. I'm sorry, not Pete Buttigieg. You sound like Pete Hegseth. That's what I meant. Well, I bet Buttigieg said the same thing. So I guess both statements is true. You sound like Pete Hegseth and Pete Buttigieg. That's the kind of thing that right wingers say. Well, you can't protest in church. They went too far. So you got to realize this is Zohran Mamdani doubling down on his attack on free speech, right? You got to realize this is what this is, right? But I guess you guys getting free buses, maybe.
And that access never be in question while we also protect the First Amendment. And I do believe that the police ensured that yesterday.
And as you talk about ways to prevent anti-Semitism, I noticed yesterday that when you put out a statement about the protest, in advance of the protest, you noted that you agreed with the protesters. You've weighed in on the subject of Israel in a couple of other ways and recent days. And I just wonder whether, are you considering whether you personally putting your views about Israel out there is in any way fueling anti-Semitism in the city?
Or
maybe you should just not weigh in or just not bring it up?
I think that critique of the policies of a government are very much separate from bigotry towards people of a specific religious faith. And there is no tolerance for anti-Semitism. There is no tolerance for hatred of Jewish New Yorkers, which we have seen time and time again, whether it be in...
He's smearing his own people. This is disgusting. I don't trust anyone who repeat the anti-Semitism hoax that is used to implement fascism in the West. And he is smearing his own people. You are smearing your own constituents and calling them anti-Semitic. Am I the only goy who's offended by this? It's damn near a slur at this point. You're going to attack your own people and say, oh, well, yeah, there's an anti-Semitism problem. No, there are people standing up against genocide. Look, how many people report on this? Straight out of the gate, Zohran issues an executive order that gives Commissioner Tisch license to establish no protest zones. That is what your boy did. That is what the DSA candidate did. So for all the people that say, well, he held hostage by Jessica Tisch, did Jessica Tisch hold a gun to his hand and force him to pass this executive order? Zohran Mamdani, Goydani. This is why he's Goydani now. I like Zohran too. This is the political theater. Oh no, I can't rein in my NYPD. Go fuck yourself. The fact that people are falling for this is exactly why the United States left is considered a clown show on the global stage. Another campaign promise broken because people are going along with the Jessica Tisch WWE bullshit. His campaign promise about blocking NYPD from working with ICE. Another campaign promise that he abandoned. Isn't it interesting? The only campaign promises he is fulfilling is his promises to crack down on anti-Semitism hoax on behalf of the Zionists. Everything that he promised the Zionists in the Epstein class, he is following through on those. Isn't that interesting? But everything he promised the desperate New York working class that he was accomplishing, he's not accomplishing. Zohran Mamdani's NYPD appears to be coordinating with ICE. Oh no, I lost control of my police department. I'm so powerless. This video is just even more disrespectful. Like this is Zohran Mamdani's own cop saying, yeah, he's a little bitch. Zohran a little bitch. He's a puppy. He ain't shit. He said he's temporary. He's expendable. It's almost like Zohran Mamdani trying to be weak on purpose, right?
Mayor Zohran Mamdani.
You don't like Mamdani, but he's your boss. No. You want a minute? He's your boss.
He's like temporary.
He's your boss.
No,
Is he your boss though? Is he your boss?
He's
your boss.
He's
your boss. Exactly. You don't want a minute. He's what?
He's an embarrassment.
Yo, you say your mayor is
Not my mayor.
Not my mayor. Y'all see how Zohran has zero control over the NYPD?
All Democrats say based on human race.
This is a cop. Jesus Christ. Bro, so there was some police officers who were threatening to quit when Zohran joined. That's why, like, no, I promise, I'm not going to do shit to you guys. So they stayed on. This is the kind you should have a full-fledged purge of people like this in your police in your police office. Police force, police office. Let me see if I can get. I'm still gonna cover the Hasan thing because Hasan put Zohran Mamdani the same way he put John Fetterman, the same way he pushed all these NATO leftists, and he's the biggest gift to the Democratic Party. He's here to dole all third-party movements, so we didn't get to him very soon. But this is what his boy, using your guys' strategy, your enlightened strategy of going through a genocidal capitalist party to implement your socialism. But look, this is a great tweet by Aiden here. Since being elected into office, Zohran Mamdani has reinstated homeless encampment sweeps. I cover that. Did your favorite left channel cover that? I doubt it. Reneged on his promise to make sure the NYPD does not collude with ICE. I just covered that. Condemned the protesters of illegal land sales of the occupied West Bank, a crime under international law. Kept Jessica Tisch as NYPD commissioner. Declined to disband the NYPD SRG unit. Another campaign promise. Endorsed neoliberal Zionist Kathy Hochul for governor. I will also add, remember, he talked his own friend out of primarying Hakeem Jeffries as well, playing crucial defense for Hakeem Jeffries in the era of anti-Zionism in New York. Are you guys proud of this? Are you guys proud of this devil's bargain that you guys made? Yeah, he's implementing fascism and cracking down on free speech, but free buses are coming. He's going to tax the rich. Not see the means of production, not engage in class war against the landlord class. He's going to tax the rich. We're going to have free buses. This is why I'm adversarial. We have to be adversarial to this because the DSA has been an organization for 40 years. There is a bunch of old gray-haired leftists who've been trying to take over the Democratic Party for decades now. And they keep failing. Like, this is the failure of the DSA strategy of electing progressive Democrats. This is what the people that you guys view as your heroes, this is what they have done. Ever since we started this movement and we spent $500 million electing these scumbags. I can probably add a few more, but this is going by this graphic. They voted for Nancy Pelosi, refused to fight for Medicare for all, enforce a vote, instead voted for Nancy Pelosi again. AOC, Tlaib, and Bowman voted present, helping leadership pass the Capitol Security Bill. So they literally funded the Capitol Police. And I covered how after the squad voted to give the Capitol Police more money, the first thing the Capitol Police did was crack the head of indigenous protesters who were protesting oil pipelines being built on their land. And we're going to fund the police, but we're going to do it progressively. Capitol Security Bill, Iron Dome funding. We all know the story about the Iron Dome funding. The $40 billion to Ukraine, which you will never see Hasan Piker or anyone ask Cori Bush this question. Like, hey man, why are you sending billions of dollars to Nazis in Ukraine while homies in St. Louis are struggling? As you're endorsing Joe Biden, who did nothing for our community. You guys are, it doesn't even cover the fact that these people literally endorsed and ran cover and supported a man who committed genocide. That alone is a deal breaker, let alone all this other shit. Well, very important stuff here. I actually forgot about this. Remember the Ukraine diplomacy letter when the Ukraine war first started and the squad put out this letter that, hey man, maybe we shouldn't support war against a nuclear power. That's kind of what we're supposed to be about as progressives. And then the party looked at them like, have you guys lost your cotton picking mind? Have you guys lost your goddamn mind? You guys better withdraw this fucking letter. God know what they told them. But then the second they advocated for peace and began the Ukraine war, they got talking to, and then Ilhan Omar met with Nazis in Ukraine, and now she's a big supporter of Ukraine. The rail strike vote that they broke, being scabs in order to support Joe Biden. Squad Line members backed another $61 billion for war, fam. For war. And this is part of the progressive victory. Emma Vigeland, good friends with Hasan Piker. You guys realize that the established United States left, not me, I'm an outlaw. I mean, we out here hustling. We starving for a little bit of clout. But the mainstream establishment left, you guys understand that they support Nazis in Ukraine and the imperial structure known as NATO to the death? Passionately defending Ukraine. So I explain all the time how Ukraine is actually Israel. And the ethnic Russians that they murdered are actually more comparable to the Palestinians. So Emma Vigeland is approached with the fact that Zelensky signed security agreements with Netanyahu. He literally offered to send them drones and help them wage their genocidal wars. So when confronted with this, watch how NATO leftists confront with the fact that Zelensky has close ties to the Israelis and offer to help.
How do we feel about Zelensky aligning with Netanyahu? Ukraine is aligning with anybody in the West that they could possibly align with for the continued flow of weapons. And Zelensky doing that is not surprising to me.
So Russia is allying with our homies in Cuba and sending aid to Cuba fighting against the Trump blockade. They're allies with Venezuela, people who are victims of United States imperialism. They're allied with Iran. Meanwhile, you have to justify the people that they're fighting being allies with genocidal Zionists. Doesn't that bring up any sort of hypocrisies in your mind that you should be working out right now? You guys say, well, yeah, our boy Zelensky, he's a Nazi who works with Zionists. But not a big deal. Democrats told us to support Ukraine, so we're going to do it anyway.
Anybody in the West that they could possibly align with for the continued flow of weapons. And Zelensky doing that is not surprising to me. Does not mean that it's not immensely hypocritical, but as is the United States' support for Ukraine when you compare it to our support for Israel. Like
the absolute dumbest geopolitical analyst out here. The queen. Yeah, the United States. No, they're actually not. But let's let her hang herself because this is literally gold. This is the geopolitical understanding of a toddler. She legitimately don't understand why we support Nazis in Ukraine that was slaughtering ethnic Russians. Well, why do we support them while we support the genocide of Palestinians? I don't get it. I never read anything. I never read history or theory. Listen to
immensely hypocritical, but as is the United States' support for Ukraine when you compare it to our support for Israel. Like, we have lost credibility in our support for Ukraine because of our support for Israel. So there's hypocrisies all across the board, but
Zelensky's starting another front with Israel.
Our legitimacy has been hampered. Bro, you guys supported the coup in Ukraine in the first place, bro. She has no idea what's going on in the world. She's talking about the legitimacy of the United States. She's like, bro, if it only wasn't for the genocide in Gaza, we would have moral standing against Russia. Are you serious?
In our support for Ukraine because of our support for Israel. So there's hypocrisies all across the board, but
Zelensky's starting another front with Israel.
Right. I mean, that's the.
He said, "Is Zelensky starting another front with Israel?" He actually is. He's providing drone assistance for Netanyahu. The Majority Report. This is the true dumb left. They have no idea what's going on in the world right now.
Same reason that the UAE is doing a defense pact with Ukraine. It's about aligning yourself with Western interests. And this is what bothers me sometimes about geopolitical analysis. When you're making like just factual claims about power and people get all up in their feels. No, this is the bad guy. This is the good guy. No, we're talking about we're talking about capitalism. We're talking about war. We're talking about alliances.
Emma, I know it's hard for you to understand, but yes, the Nazis are the bad guys. The West are the bad guys responsible for untold amount of death and destruction and genocide. You really believe these motherfuckers, these NATO leftists, they really believe the United States is fighting Russia and Ukraine out of the kindness of their heart because they want to spread democracy. What's the difference between Emma Vigeland's and the entirety of the NATO left? What's the difference between their position on Ukraine and Neera Tanden? They're like, man, the United States needs to shape it up. We need to keep our legitimacy so we can really spread the war against Russia and claim that we're fighting for democracy. Insane. This is insane political analysis. Well, I know things are black. Things are kind of gray. Yeah, they so he in line with the Israelis, the genocidal Israelis. Yes, according to a 2016-2018 UN report, the Ukraine government was engaged in indiscriminate slaughter of ethnic Russians. Come on, guys, who's here to decide what's good and evil? Morally bankrupt scum. And this is the devil's bargain in real time. They support the NATO proxy war because they feel like they have to, so they can get crumbs from the Democratic Party. That's me being very charitable. It's more to protect their careers. So let's
just factual claims about power and people get all up in their feels. No, this is the bad guy. This is the good guy. No, we're talking about we're talking about capitalism. We're talking about war. We're talking about alliances. And there are no actors that are inherently like righteous, except really, all of these struggles of power, of conquest, of colonialism, what have you, the aggressor and the victim, they act in concert with one another, and you can't disaggregate the victim from the aggressor, and they act in relation to one another, and we should be fighting for liberation for all people for that reason, without making fairy tale Marvel moral judgments about the actors in this case.
So being against funding and arming Nazis in Ukraine is you upholding some sort of unrealistic Marvel standards according to the pro-Nazi left. Oh, come on. We're standing for the liberation of the Ukrainian government, the right for them to implement fascism in the Donbass. We're standing for the rights of the Ukrainian government to slaughter ethnic Russians if they feel like it. Hey, look at me. I'm Emma Vigeland. I am standing for the right for Ukraine to ban socialist parties. That's what you're fighting for. Ukraine banned the right to collective bargaining, ban labor rights, and ban socialist parties. And here you are, like I'm a fight for their right to implement fascism. Get the fuck out! This is I was about to say a child's geopolitics, but this is her being class loyal. This war too important for the ruling class. But this is part of the progressive victory left. This is the part of the new left. She has a close relationship with Hasan Piker. And as Hasan Piker makes these arguments against third parties, my simple question is like, bro, where are your litmus tests at? Where are your red lines? Because I promise to God, if you was to ask Hasan Piker, and this is why I would love to have a conversation with them, would you support a candidate who was like a vicious, anti-trans, anti-gay bigot, but they say free Palestine? Imagine, I mean, like, not like subtle, like they are all about that culture war shit. They was anti-gay, but they like, hey, I support Medicare for all though. I support Medicare for all, except for the gays. Do you think Hasan Piker will support these people if they was against their culture war of choice? But you gotta notice how support for not neo-Nazism in Ukraine, their support for NATO proxy wars, that is not a red line for you. Imperialism is not a red line for you. What does it say about your morals and your values? And what you guys are really trying to accomplish is the devil's bargain. So now I told you guys this is what the plan always been, was to prop up Hasan Piker by having the most unpopular people attack him, giving them more legitimacy. He is their guy to sheepdog people back into the Democratic Party. And it's strange to me because he will get upset at people for saying that, even though this is you, bro. This is you.
We all know the Republicans are corrupt. We all know that they're monsters. They're racist. They traffic in hatred. But we are here to say we are no longer going to vote for do-nothing Democrats either. We're voting for Democrats with a purpose.
We vote for Democrats for a purpose. Fam, this is not my first rodeo. Give it time. Just wait until J.D. Vance launches his election his campaign in 2028. And AOC drops out of the race. And AOC, who was endorsed by Hasan Piker, then tells them to support Pete Buttigieg. How fast will this? Hey, I only support good Democrats who does good things. Let's see how far that goes, because this is the sheepdog operation. I promise you, this is going to turn into we got to vote for Pete Buttigieg to stop J.D. Vance. This is how the sheepdog operation works. And for one, how are you even making an argument these people are good Democrats when they supported a man who was committing genocide? They was lying on behalf of a genocide. They support war against Russia. None of these things bothers you? Breaking the rail strike? None of that? Anyway, so let's get into this. I'm going to let a lot of this play just because this is a long-ass video. I don't know how far I'm going to get into this, but this is Hasan Piker making a long-form argument on why socialists in the left in this moment need to go through the Democratic Party. This is in response to the heat that he's taken after that clip came out. After it was announced that he was rallying with NATO leftists, pro-war Democrats who endorse genocide. So he's been feeling heat. especially from yours truly. So he attacks one of my followers, one of my mutuals, one of my friends as a proxy for arguing against us and people who think like me. This is him trying to argue against the RB and ACP, the communists who are telling them that you can't build within a capitalist imperialist party. So this is May 2nd. So I asked Hasan Piker, I was like, hey man, let's have I promise you I won't be mean to you, bro. let's have a conversation for the left. So we can get better. Who knows? You might sun me. Like, if you can make a good argument for the Democratic Party, this is your chance. Like, why there's no dialogue here? Because they are not in solidarity with us. They don't give a fuck about anyone unless they share their same vision of going through the Democratic Party. Which is, they will say, well, I would support a third party if it popped up out of nowhere. No, you wouldn't. You don't support third parties right now. But anyway, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's listen to his arguments, and then I'm a thoroughly debunk him since I'm not going to get this conversation or debate. We already knew that, though. Let's listen to his argument.
If I were to turn heel, if I were to, become an anti-communist, a vicious anti-communist, and still maintain some of the progressive values too, while I'm at it, if I were to become the person that like those on Twitter to my left claim I am, right?
Who do you think he's talking about? Just saying.
Right now, I would get 0 hit pieces.
And first thing I want to know is, I just gotta say this. You guys notice how, and I see this all the time listening to this on part. You see how everything is about me. It's about me. Oh my God, these people are attacking me. Oh my God, the Democratic establishment is attacking me. Me. Yeah, you're rich as fuck. And you crying about people attacking you. And every time I see this guy, it's all about, let me turn the sound audio up. Well, it's high as it can be. But every time I see this guy, he's just talking about himself. Oh, the Democratic Party is attacking me. My interview, my trip, it's so egotistic. And this is the celebrity worship that he's trying to program his viewers to have, and they do have it. So he's complaining about people on his left having a substantive criticism of him. Like, hey man, we think you're going within the Democratic Party to bad thing. You guys see how he's painting himself as a victim? I am such a fucking victim. God, he's so insufferable. Like, that's just, every time I see this guy, it's all just self-absorbed bullshit. Fam, I told you guys, I want to be the guy who taking the fire in front of the establishment. I'm more than happy being the guy taking the heat, fighting for our movement. Meanwhile, he constantly acts like a bitch about it. Oh, why are they writing op-eds against me? Why are people criticizing me for my left? Shut the fuck up. You have a gigantic platform, bro, and responsibility. And you act like a bitch all the time. Like, oh my God, these leftists, these communists, they always critique me. Fuck you. If I am okay with getting critiques, and I'm way smaller than you. I'm not a millionaire. I'm streaming from a small apartment. Meanwhile, he's constantly acting like a bitch because he gets critiques. And that's why I would never talk to anyone on my left who critiques me. I would talk to liberals. I would talk to people on the right who critiques me. But if you're on my left and you critique me, go fuck yourself. How is this someone who's supposed to be in community with us? Anyways, I can't with this motherfucker. Only 30 minutes in, only 30 seconds in. Let's get to the breadth of this argument. But listen to the beginning, how it's all about me. Everyone attacking me. Ew.
If I were to turn heel, if I were to, become an anti-communist, a vicious anti-communist, and still maintain some of the progressive values too, while I'm at it, if I were to become the person that like those on Twitter to my left claim I am right now, I would get 0 hit pieces. Every day would be another Glaze sesh, the Joe Rogan of the left, shepherding young men out of the dangerous pits of radicalization and shepherding them in the direction of the Democratic Party. A man who really wants to save America. Okay? Oh, it would be great. It would be fucking great. I mean, I respond to one of these guys, by the way, here. Hasan's message is vote for the party that did a genocide in Gaza, this inhumans of capitalism, Ojibwa. Okay, Hammer and Sickle account. I said AIPAC spent $9 million against Corey for calling out Israel's genocide. You fucking moron. I guess you're happy with a servant of Israel occupying this seat, but I am not. Perhaps I should just keep posting about how bourgeois democracy is a dead end for the working class and then wait for a spontaneous revolution to take shape like you are.
Look at the condescension that he shows to working class people who criticize him from the left. Look at the anger that he shows. For one, the attack that he lays on him is complete bullshit. The person who is sitting by and waiting for a revolution to happen spontaneously is you, not my friend that you're attacking. Inhumans and Capitalism, my friend. I'm very aware of his tweets. We follow each other. So you guys say he is attacking my friend as a proxy for attacking our arguments. To be honest. So this is why, like, bro, instead of attacking random people on Twitter and X who are just ordinary working class people, why not have a debate with someone like me who can challenge you on your ideas? Because what you do and what many people do, you accuse him of just waiting for a revolution to start. It's the exact opposite that is true. You guys see how these people got nothing but projection? The person who just sitting waiting for revolution to start is you, because Hasan Piker consistently says, and I believe he says it again in his video, he says, well, now is not a time for a third party movement. Oh, I would love, hypothetically, to support a third party movement, but now is not the time. How many times have you guys heard that? How many times have these professional managerial class scumbags told you that? Oh, now is not the time. I would love to support a third party, but now is not the time. So essentially what they're telling you, and when Hasan Piker says stuff like that, he is waiting for a revolution to start spontaneously. You know, the same thing he accuses this guy of doing? So what we do as a third party movement, acknowledging that a revolution is not going to start out of nowhere, we want to start building right now. And when are you waiting for this perfect situation for a third party? A revolution is built, Hasan, and you're doing nothing. With your millions of dollars and your massive audience, you're doing nothing to assist the working class in building this potential revolutionary party and movement. Instead, you are here to be a gatekeeper and stop the formation of such a revolutionary third party. It's people like me who understand that we're not just going to wake up to be part to a revolution. We have to be part of it. If you don't become part of the revolution, you can't wait for a revolution to happen. So for people like, well, I would vote third party, but now not the time. Sir, you have been a political commentator for how long now? I don't know his career like that, but I have seen videos of Hasan Piker that like as early as 2013, 2014, and I'm sure that he started before that. But he started out as a young TYT commentator, TYT media program. So you telling me that throughout these 14 to 15 years, as you as a political commentator during COVID, during the first Trump administration, you telling me that no time over these last 12 to 14 years, it has ever been a time to build a third party? Because you're saying now, not the time now. You've been saying that for 14 years. When will be the time for you, Hasan? You know, we just gotta be patient. So you guys see how hilariously he's actually guilty of the same thing he accuses my friend of being guilty of? He just sitting back waiting. Oh, I'm gonna wait till the workers do all the work. I'm gonna let them get their ass beat. And then the second the third party movement will be successful, just like Crystal Ball said. When Crystal Ball said third party voters need to grow up, she's like, well, if there was hypothetically a third party that was viable, yeah, I would support it. So you guys are lazy bums making money off of sheepdogging people to the Democratic Party. And then if we're ever hypothetically successful in building our third party movement, then you will join us? What's stopping you from joining us right now? What's stopping you from using your platform to raise money for mutual aid for a third party? Because that's how you build a third party, through mutual aid, showing up in your community, showing the working class that we, the socialists, we are the revolutionaries. We are the one who will build a government, and the ruling class won't do it themselves. We will build our own outside government. We have this organization. You can help if you want, but we're here for you. And that's how you grow your party. That's how we grow a movement. And that is what these people have been trying to prevent But let's continue because I'm sure he's going to make a lot of these lazy arguments that are already kind of knocked down. Let's continue. But I will show you guys that smug condescension that he had, where he engages in projection, accuses someone who's critical of him of just, oh, you're just waiting for a revolution to start. No, that's you, sir, doing nothing for a movement other than grifting our politicians.
These guys, by the way, here. Hassan's message is vote for the party that did a genocide in Gaza, this inhumans of capitalism, Ojibwa. Okay, hammer and sickle account. I said AIPAC spent $9 million against Corey for calling out Israel's genocide. You fucking moron. I guess you're happy with a servant of Israel occupying this seat, but I am not. Perhaps I should just keep posting about how bourgeois democracy is a dead end for the working class and then wait for a spontaneous revolution to take shape like you are.
So annoying. Is that the appeal? Like, for people who watch this on, do you get off? Do you find it attractive the way he talked down to working class people? I don't want to share that much about this person, but I know this person that he's talking to. Working class. Actually, I don't want to get that much about his life away, but not rich. Let's just say that. So when you watch Hasan Piker, do you love the fact that this rich motherfucker talks down to people on the left who criticize him? Is that appealing to you guys?
That guy's ACP, I think. I don't know what it is, but there are a lot of people that don't understand what I'm trying to do.
Yes, we do.
And I explain it all the time, and yet they just don't hear it. I'm a native St. Louisian and Maoist, meaning I'm very critical of electoral politics, to say the least, and I love Corey because she's a fighter for our city and our people who aren't even from here and do no organizing, but denouncing black women organized beloved by our people, while black people in North STL still sleep in tents, are not helping the communist movement, and they're actually driving black people away from it with constant weirdness. I think so too.
So they mad when we criticize Corey Bush.
But what's really strange is like they don't even fucking understand. Ojibwe is not ACP. He's a Maoist Sakaiist. Oh, Jay Sakai. Respect. I didn't know. I didn't know we had a Maoist Sakai enjoyer. My mistake.
What's the
my mistake to the JD Pond constituency? Okay. So wrong of me to even respond because he's probably functionally illiterate. So
what a scumbag.
He did not read those words at all.
He is so insufferable.
In any case,
like who does this appeal to? Condescension for ordinary working class people who holding you accountable, but meanwhile there's no heat for people who support war against Russia from this guy.
Clear.
Unbelievable. What a scumbag.
Okay. I'm not standing in opposition of a communist party in this country.
Yes, you are. You fucking lying dipshit. Guys, who do you think is the biggest obstacle for building a third party? Spoiler alert, it's not Chuck Schumer. It's not fucking Rachel Maddow. It's not our inability to win a battle of ideas against the neoliberal class. It's the sheepdogs. This is why it's crazy that third-party activists have been going after these people. The biggest gift for the duopoly are the people who say all the nice things, but then sell the idea that we can make change within the two-party duopoly. So if you're advocating for people to spend their money and their resources to prop up the duopoly, you are actively opposing a third-party formation. For every hour that you spend helping a Democrat campaign, that is not time you're spent building a third party. Building a third party will be hard enough as it is, let alone with this whole thing, we're going to divide our resources. Well, we're going to have some people try to take over the Democratic Party, while we're going to have some people build a third party. No, you're either with us or you're against us. Hasan Piker wants the working class to waste another $400 million. They want us to continue to waste money on this failed project. The same project you've been advocating for 12 years now. But anyway, let's continue. I'm going to let him go a little bit because this video length.
In any case, I make it very clear, okay? I'm not standing in opposition of a communist party in this country. Okay? I'm not standing in opposition.
Bro, when Jill Stein ran for office, he followed the lead of AOC and attacked Jill Stein. You notice he's not propping up Bush Ware. He does nothing to prop up third parties. In fact, he will join the attack against him. He was asked by one of his audience members, why won't you ever interview Jill Stein? He's like, well, I don't trust Jill Stein. Who did he get that talking point from? He got it from AOC. So this whole thing he's doing where he's pretending that I'm not in your way. Yes, you are. You are there to attack every single person who don't advocate going through the Democratic Party, which is why you attacked us when we was advocating for a general strike summit. Which is why you say that Jill Stein isn't trustworthy, even though she's an anti-Zionist Jew who was brutally arrested protesting genocide. So in order to prevent your audience from supporting a third party, you character assassinated Jill Stein. And you refuse to platform. You refuse to support third parties. So in what reality, he's like, well, I'm just kind of neutral. That's false. And you guys see how in the beginning of the clip, he went so hard after this guy because he thought he was ACP. Why did he go after ACP? Because ACP is building a movement outside the Democratic Party. The same reason why I hate anyone part of Jimmy Dore left. He condemned me at part of Jimmy Dore left because he doesn't advocate going to the Democratic Party. Anyone who is oppositional to the idea of taking over the Democratic Party and supporting progressive Democrats, not only do they want nothing to do with us, they will smear our character. Like he's doing this guy. Let's continue.
Of building a vanguard in this country. But you have to match up your organizational efforts with where the masses are. Americans self-identify as liberals. Many of them actually do have revolutionary potential that they do not identify with. They do not understand.
God, this video is so hard to get through. If we ever do have a debate, I really hope Hasan Piker brings different arguments in this one, or it will be easy work. He said most of Americans are liberal, and we shouldn't be supporting a third party because the American people are not ready for it. Despite the fact that there are polls that show that 50% of registered voters say they are willing to support a third party. The reason they're not because there's not no third parties gaining any traction because you refuse to support them. Americans consistently say that we are ready for a third party. Congress has a 10% approval rating. We're in a situation where the vast majority of the American people are opposed to the Zionist Israeli project when both parties refuse to abandon Zionism. Fam, when have there ever been a better time for a third party than right now? When have there ever been a time? You couldn't dream of a better scenario than this. You couldn't dream of a better scenario than we have right now. But he is still in the Lord 2026 telling us now is not the time. Well, you got to build your organizing based on what the American people have. No, it's our job to educate the American people. You guys see how he's a lazy scumbag? He's a lazy scumbag. They don't want to do any of the work. Well, the American people are not there yet, so we just got to go through a genocidal party because the American people are kind of genocidal. For one, that is not even true. This is why he would never debate me, because I would dismantle every point. I'm sorry, guys. I will let more of it play, so I promise. I'm sorry. But every point he makes, I can write a fucking article about why he's wrong. For example, he said, well, most of the American people are liberals and they're not ready for a third-party movement. Fam, 88 million Americans did not vote last election cycle who was eligible to vote. Hasan, do you hear that? 88 million Americans was eligible to vote and didn't vote because they don't believe in either party. They didn't believe it was worth their time to get off their couch, take time off work to support any genocidal party. These 88 million people are ripe for the picking. Meanwhile, you just see how Hasan, he just want to give up. Oh, the American people not there yet. I wonder if anything I can do about that. I know I got this massive platform and I'm boosted by the establishment. Wonder if there's anything I can do to change the material perception of Americans. Nope, he's a lazy asshole who just want to raise money off the Democratic Party. And then smear everyone else who want to study history and see how previous revolutionaries actually accomplished win for the working class. He just want to sit by and troll Democrats because that's how he got rich. How would this guy have any credibility on the left is beyond me. Once again, this guy is thousands of times more influential than I am. The face of socialists in the United States. This is him. I told you, the United States left is cooked, man. What else? What am I supposed to do about this? What are we supposed to do about this? People were like, well, you just going after Hasan for the clout. No, there are hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people brainwashed by this motherfucker who exists to drag what it means to be a socialist to the right. He doing photo shoots with him posing with Lenin while still advocating for work within the Democratic Party. Lenin will smack you right in the fucking face if you ever heard this nonsense. But all right, I'm gonna try my best, man. Let's let it play for a bit. But man, these arguments are so half-assed. Like they will be just like Ro Khanna. You guys saw how easy I stole his law degree? Imagine him trying to defend these lazy ass takes from me. This is why he will never have a conversation with anyone who doesn't celebrity worship him. He will never have a conversation with anyone from his right. I mean, to his left. He will only talk to people on his right. He will only talk to liberals and conservatives. But anyone who will critique his horrific game plan that has been tried for decades now. He pretends like we had the clout. He pretends like that people been following the direction of the revolutionary left. No, we've been following your direction. You have the clout. You have the subscribers. You have the influence. You have the hundreds of thousands of people. Can you guys imagine the kind of work that Rome would do if he had 100,000 soldiers listen to him every single day live? Millions of views. Do you know what kind of work Rome would get fucking done? Meanwhile, here it is dipshit with millions of views, millions of followers, waiting for other people to do the goddamn work of building another party. There are a lot of things that blackpilling to me, but probably the most blackpilling thing is the fact that socialists listen to this guy. The fact that this is the most influential leftist streamer in the United States, it's probably one of the most blackpilling moments. Like, this is beyond Bernie losing in South Carolina, bro. It's like, this is where the United States left is at. It's very depressing. So I know people may think it. They're like, well, Nick, you only go after Hasan for clout, which is not a bad reason. Like, if you're in politics, you should want your movement to have more clout. But I'm doing it because I'm legitimately dumbfounded. Some people will say flabbergasted. I am quite flabbergasted at the fact that Hasan Piker is the voice of the socialist left in the United States. So I have no choice but to correct the record and at least present the argument on how a real Marxist, how someone who a communist, someone who followed in the footsteps of Fred Hampton. Bro, I was just with the Hampton family last year. The Hampton family will slap you in the face if you ever talk about organizing within a genocidal Democratic Party. We was laughing about it. Me and Rome asked him. They were like, bro, never in a million years. But God forbid you take a lesson for people who learn from the revolutionary ancestors. You're here to promote the same incrementalist bullshit that has led to nothing but a genocidal party, a record amount of homelessness. Your boy Zohran Mamdani cracking down on free speech rights. It's depressing that this man's the voice, but let's continue. Let's see how much more I can suffer through. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit so you guys get more context behind this full argument. I'll chime in when I catch up.
So wrong of me to even respond because he's probably functionally illiterate. So he did not read those words at all. In any case, I make it very clear, okay? I'm not standing in opposition of a communist party in this country, okay? I'm not standing in opposition of building a vanguard in this country. But you have to match up your organizational efforts with where the masses are. Americans self-identify as liberals. Many of them actually do have revolutionary potential that they do not identify with. They do not understand. They don't have the class consciousness, first and foremost, and they don't have the political education. Okay?
I'm sorry to interrupt it again, but once again, complete bullshit. Complete revolutionary defeatism being spread by Hasan Piker. Fam, these are the leftists that piss me off. You know, the left is like, well, we can't do any action right now. We got to work on shifting the Overton window. yeah, guys, we can't have a revolution. Don't you know that we got to shift the Overton window to the left? I fucking hate that word. I'll slap you in the motherfucking mouth for saying something like that. Fam, the American people was ready for some revolutionary shit ever since Occupy Wall Street. This idea that the American people who don't support Medicare for all already, the idea that people are not opposed to Israel and Zionism already, the problem that the American people are going through right now is the lack of options. The fact that a third party is not presenting themselves and there's not a coordinated effort to fight the duopoly. The American people already agree with us. This is why I'm going to slap every single motherfucking lefty that keeps saying stuff like, we got to work on the Overton window. We got to work on the Overton window. Bro, the American people was against war since the Iraq War. And I'm being very generous. The American people have been opposed to our politicians for decades now. It's just the sheepdog class keep leading them down paths that leads to nothing. And they end up wasting the revolutionary anger of the American people. The American people was ready for some shit in Occupy Wall Street, and then they got sheepdogged into supporting Barack Obama. People was ready to build a third party in 2016. Then Bernie and all his media acolytes like Hasan Piker, they wanted to build back the Democratic Party. You need agents like Hasan in order to make the argument against to the American people so they wouldn't revolt. They're like, guys, please, we gotta support the Democrats. Guys, please, we gotta support good Democrats. You guys actively play a role in sheepdogging the American people back into the two-party duopoly when they're begging for an alternative.
You have to first build the awareness.
So bro, this motherfucker is going to be building awareness for the rest of his life. This motherfucker's been building awareness for 14 years. Actually, I'm guessing. When did Hasan Piker start? When did Hasan... Wonder if AI will help me with this. When did Hasan Piker begin? I think that would be better. They showed me when he started his Twitter account. Okay, they say he started... Yeah, I was right, actually. Crazy. He started his career in 2013 and 2014 with the Young Turks. So this motherfucker has been building awareness for 13 goddamn years. And 13 years later, after this motherfucker been raising awareness, he's still saying, hey guys, not the time. Now not the time. When will you guys realize the fucking grift that this motherfucker playing? He just sitting back collecting checks. You're like, well, let's bring on this Democrat candidate. Oh no, the Democrat candidate lost. Let's bring on this Democrat candidate. Hey, let's interview the candidate. Hey guys, make sure you fundraise for this Democrat that I brought on. I'm not gonna bring on Shama Sawant because she's running as an independent. No, I'm here to help the Democrat. No, let's raise money for the Democrat Party. Yeah, and Cenk was building awareness before him. Then before that you had Bernie Sanders and his generation raising awareness. Dr. Cornel West, or I should say Cornel West, since I took that doctorate degree away from him. Cornel West been raising awareness for 50 fucking years. Dr. Cornel, he's like, nah, I'm still raising awareness. Bro, slap motherfuckers theoretically, whenever they say some bullshit like, oh, well, now not the time. Don't you know we still got to work on the American people? That is a sheepdog talking point. That is a tranquilizing drug talking point. That is a talking point so they could delay and continue their obsession with electoral politics. Come on, let's just run another campaign in Democrat. Let's do another one. I love midterms. I love elections. I love going to campaign rallies. They're addicted. They're like junkies. They're junkies towards electoral politics. And that's why they will never stop with this fantasy of them taking over the Democratic Party, because they love that shit. They can't wait for Nina Turner to announce her next election. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Man, we're only halfway in, dude. This dude is insufferable. Well, if I ever do, I'm definitely not about to get that debate now after this video drop. But I told Hasan, bro, like, you guys see, whenever I debate people, when I debated Destiny, when I was on debating Robbie on the Hill, I'll be respectful. We had a debate because I'd rather focus on destroying your ideas, but they know they're not ready for that heat, man. And if you don't want to debate me, fine. Debate anybody. This is not even about me, man. Debate Hodge from the ACP. Debate Eddie Liger. Debate anyone who's advocating for third parties. Instead of just smearing, you guys hate the ACP. Instead of smearing them, why not bring them on to debate? Remember when I brought Jackson Hinkle on to debate when we had our disagreements? Why not do that? Like, if you don't want to debate me, if you think I'm a bad guy, if you think I'm just a grifter, oh, I want clicks, oh, how dare I? If you think I'm a bad guy, debate any motherfucker. Bring on Shama Sawan. I dare you. I dare you to bring on Shama Sawan and make these shit-lib arguments to her face. She will eat your goddamn lunch, and that's why you refuse to have her on, even though she's running against a genocidal Democrat. God, I can't stand these fucking people, man.
Okay? You have to first build the awareness, and then you have to move in the direction of action, organizing to engage in action. Okay? Saying start building it is unbelievably stupid. There is no better.
Look, his own audience is calling him out. He's like, yo, bro, we gotta start building it right now. He's like, well, what do you mean building it? What are you talking about building? I'm not building shit. You think I'm building anything with you fucking peasants? Look, his own chat is calling him out.
Building it is unbelievable. Okay? Saying start building it is unbelievably stupid. There is no better mechanism of building a mass movement than using the largest megaphone readily available through the election system. Many of you.
This man posed with Lenin. This man posed with Lenin, bro. And I'm not supposed to do this video. I'm supposed to just let this shit slide. What accomplishments have you achieved for the working class organizing within the Democratic Party in your lifetime? Why do these people who accomplish nothing in their life act so fucking smug, engaging in a strategy that fails over and over and over again? I'm still a young blood, but I'm looking at people who've been successful. You know who's been successful? Someone that you guys love to glaze. You guys love to talk about how Claudia Sheinbaum, oh my God, Claudia Sheinbaum is delivering such victory for the Mexican working class. Don't you know Claudia Sheinbaum reduced poverty in Mexico? She implemented working programs that put in Mexicans to work and creating a boom in their quality of life. How did she do that? How did she do that, sir? I am begging any of these people to quote any sort of history, any sort of precedent for their ideas. I am begging you, show me an example of your strategy working. We have record high medical bankruptcies. We have record income inequality. You guys couldn't stop your party from committing a genocide. So in what reality do you like? Well, it's been proven, guys, it's a fact. It's a fact, guys, that operating within the Democratic Party is the way we should go. Based on what? Yeah, it's a fact that working within the Democratic Party has been good for your career. But there's no evidence that there's any victories to be had working within the Democratic Party. But he repeats bullshit with no evidence, no history to back them up, nothing, no modern examples. You know the ruling classes, the governing party in Spain, another example. They started out as a third-party oppositional movement. You know the party that's calling out Israel right now? They didn't infiltrate a neoliberal party. Where are your guys' examples of this working? There is none. The West has completely descended into fascism. All right, let's listen to one more argument and we can wrap up on this. This guy's fucking... Dude, I'm only halfway through this clip. I wish this motherfucker would accept my... You guys know he won't, but I would love to have a calm, rational debate with him and for him to explain his reasoning here. How he can read what is to be done by Lenin and come to this conclusion. I'm very curious more than anything. As a political nerd, I'm like, what would you even say to these arguments? I'm legitimately interested. But they're against dialogue. Don't you know dialogue is bad? We can't talk to, you can't talk to Nick. Don't you know Nick? He platformed the ACP. Yeah, we can't talk to him. Fuck dialogue. Let's just stay in our little silos. As anyone who follow my ex, bro, I be going after the people on the left and the right, the Dave Smiths and the Hasan Piker. And no one wants dialogue. Everyone wants to stay in their little echo chambers. I'm like, bro, does anyone want to debate? I go in these damn spaces and everyone just fucking jerking each other off. Are we going to exchange ideas or not? Everyone's a fucking intellectual coward in this country. All right. I know you guys are getting some Hassan fatigue. I see some of your comments. I know you guys get some fatigue. So let's do another clip or two. We're almost done. The reason why I'm going a little bit long because I wanted to make this its own segment later. So we're almost done. I promise. We will have Alex McKay. Alex McKay rescheduled, so we'll reschedule time with Alex McKay. Man, I still got a lot of breakdown, bro. I'm just getting started. I'm still mad I didn't go live yesterday because my internet was out. But we're almost done here, I promise. Let's just cover a little bit more of this. I'm not even watching the full video, but I think I already made my arguments as it is. Let's continue.
Then, using the largest megaphone readily available through the election system, many of you prior to 2016 did not know what socialism was. And many of you who are now critical of Bernie Sanders are totally oblivious to what American socialism looked like prior to 2016.
I need to let it play. But what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So was it worth $400 million for this awakening that was already within the working class in America? You know how the American people was already tired for the duopoly? Why do you guys think Bernie Sanders caught fire in the first place? He caught fire in the first place because the American people was waiting for someone to offer Medicare for all. They like to rewrite the history on this. Single-parent healthcare was always supported by the American people in recent times. That's why Bernie Sanders became popular in the first place. They get it twisted and they get it flipped. Bernie Sanders started a movement because the American people was ready for said movement, not the other way around. And Hasan Piker, it seems to me that he's making an argument that wasting $400 million on this Bernie experiment was somehow worth it. Why? It's okay that we didn't spend that money on mutual aid. It's not that big a deal that we didn't spend this money on building up a third party. Don't you know that it's okay that we spend $500 million so we can raise awareness? And shifting the Overton window to the... You guys see how that always what it comes down to? Let's spend $1 trillion. Fuck it. Let's spend another $1 billion. Fuck mutual aid. Fuck building funds to have an alternative government led by the world. Fuck all that shit. Let's spend another $100, $200 billion just raising awareness. God, I can't even make it a few seconds with this guy, man.
Are totally oblivious to what American socialism looked like prior to 2016. These things take time, okay?
Another 14 years.
Spontaneous revolution. It doesn't work that way.
All right. Once again, you guys see how I said another 14 years. Now another time. I know I've been doing this for 14 years, but now another time. So let me accept your argument at face value. Let's say that you're right, that Bernie Sanders led many people to pursue a socialist project. Are you arguing against yourself? Because I thought you said the American people wasn't ready. You just said the American people wasn't ready for a third-party socialist movement. Now you're telling me that, it's worth moving the Democratic Party. Because don't you know that Bernie Sanders woke up so many people? Yeah, motherfucker. That's the point. There's so many people who was woke up by Bernie Sanders, and now people are looking for alternatives outside of the Democratic Party that rigged an election against him. There were a lot of people that was inspired by the idea of having a political revolution, and now they actually want to deliver the failed promise that Bernie didn't accomplish. So how are you going to make the argument that Bernie Sanders shifted the American people to the left and then turn around at the same time and say, well, the American people aren't ready? Which one is it? All right, I promise, guys. One more clip. Fuck. I'm sorry, guys. This is kind of a sloppy segment, but I'm going to cut it. This is going to be I think this is going to be a good YouTube segment for later. Maybe it's going to be a banger, longer segment. So let me do one more. I counter one more argument he make. We're not going to watch this whole video, apparently. So I'm going to go with one more counter. Because I can only go, you guys see, I can only go about 10 to 15 seconds before he says some bullshit. Meanwhile, there are people who listen to this guy for hours. It's like, are you guys not hearing what I'm hearing? Are you guys not able to detect his shit liberty? All right, let's do one more clip, and I'm going to bring Zoya in. This is a powerful 90-minute domestic politics stream. You guys know I'm always in the lab cooking with geopolitics. So let's spend some time on some domestic politics for one stream. So we're gonna bring Zoya Love. Zoya is love, Zoya is life after the one. Let me debunk one more argument he makes.
You who are now critical of Bernie Sanders are totally oblivious to what American socialism looked like prior to 2016. These things take time, okay? There is no spontaneous revolution. It doesn't work that way.
Before I continue, because he's thinking right now. Before I continue, I'm asking the chat, am I off base? Do you guys think Hasan Piker is he influencing the way you think on this issue? Who argument do you think is more well researched and thought out? If you was for a third party before, did Hasan Piker's argument make you want to join the Democratic Party? I want to hear the comments. Because to me, and I know I'm radical as fuck, but 5 minutes in this clip, I haven't heard one influential argument that he actually made. Not one convincing argument. So I'll let our community. I know more people be on my side of our community, but did I lose anyone? Did Hasan Piker pick anyone off on the RBN community? Are you guys ready to organize for Zohran and the NATO leftists? Are you guys ready to help Cory Bush? Anyway, let's continue. Once again, I'm going to do one more and then we wrap up.
This is by my estimations, this is the most viable route for agitation and most viable route for fomenting class consciousness in this country. Okay? A lot of people look to what I'm doing and say, oh, this is entryism.
It is.
I want to take the revolutionary potential of the masses and feed it back into a dead end.
How is that not the case? Sorry, I'll let it continue.
Bourgeois electoralism.
He knows the criticism of himself, and he get mad. He like, man, how dare Nick Cruse? How dare them RBN thugs accuse me of engaging in entryism and being a sheepdog for the Democratic Party? Sir, that is literally what you are doing. Why have you had Shama Sawan on? Why aren't you willing to listen to Jill Stein in the Green Party? Why aren't you interested in talking to anyone in the ACP? Why are you mad at us for saying something that is an objectionable fact? Imagine me getting mad at someone and it was like, hey, look at this Nick Cruse motherfucker. He trying to sheepdog people to the Green Party. This Nick Cruse motherfucker. He trying to sheepdog people to supporting Jill Stein. I'm like, hey, goddamn right. I'm like, yeah, I fuck with Jill Stein. I love Jill Stein. Yeah, the Green Party not perfect, but they support reparations. They got an anti-imperialist platform. There's a lot of we can work on the Green. I'll be hyped. I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker, he's all right. This man's all right. He got a legitimate, accurate take of me. Imagine being mad at being accused of sheepdogging for the Green Party. Oh, Nick, you're a sheepdog for third parties. You guys see how that doesn't offend me? So why are you offended when people bring up the fact about what you do? Because you know you're on some bullshit. That's why. And you don't want anyone in your audience that actually are reading Lenin. They're going through their political discovery right now. Their first step is Hasan Piker, and a few years later, they're going to be embarrassed that they ever listened to you. Like I'm embarrassed I used to watch Stephen Colbert. You're a stepping stone for many people in your audience to become even more radicalized. I know because we have former Hassan watchers who support me, who tell me that all the time. So you have real motherfuckers in your comment section that is actually reading Lenin, that is pushing back on you. So you can't allow any left dissent on your show. You don't want any of us to pick these people off. That's why Hasan, despite the fact that I promised to God I will be nice to him, you guys know I have the patience to. You guys saw my patience with Rokana. I have the patience to be nice. So it's not about decorum. It's the fact that he doesn't want his audience to be exposed to an argument that counters his core strategy of building within the Democratic Party. So the question I asked in the segment, how are we even allies? How are we even allies if you're not even willing to talk to people? You present your theory of change, and then people on your left like, hey man, I disagree with your theory of change. Let's have a discussion. Let's try to make the left better. Let's try to coordinate on how we should move. And you like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. You illiterate. Jimmy Dore left. ACP. They use their buzzwords. How can you say you even communicate with us? They're not, because Hasan Piker is engaging in his role in the class dynamics. He is a rich boy here to sheepdog people into a capitalist genocidal party. And if I couldn't make that argument clearer over the last 45 minutes, that's my fault. Because I think I made the argument 100% clearer throughout the course of this segment. Hopefully I did. So this super chat, let me know when to end this segment. Once again, I think let's get into some Q&A. I'm gonna start another street soon, but I got a lot of shit I gotta cover. So you already know I'm gonna be back with another solo show here soon. I have a Saturday guest, Zoya. Let me know if you're there. Let's begin to wrap up. If you are, Zoya's love, Zoya's life. What's popping? Oh, you're muted too, by the way. Yeah, there we go.
You're too powerful, Nick. The chat is up.
Yeah, I wish I had time to read more of it. I had to do a communist, whatever you define me as. I define myself as a communist. I'm a left, right, whatever. I'm a communist, anti-political. So I wanted to show a communist take to a guy who is deemed to be the most and he is the most popular and influential leftist voice in the United States. I'm not punching down. I'm not finding some dummy to go after. I'm going after the most influential voice, and I am making my argument known. Like the idea that third-party activists, that socialists and communists, we're supposed to be passive as people bastardize our ideology, that's absurd. But go ahead, Zoya.
Let's get into the chats. We have a lot. People are fired up. Joe Anon, thanks for the $5. Nick, please don't be too mad at us New Yorkers. Adam Cuomo and Silva weren't better options. Yeah, as Nick clarified, he's not mad at the working class. He's mad at the ruling class for forcing us into these dead ends.
And I'm mad at the Hasan Piker. Remember, I told you guys my heat is for the propagandists. Hasan is the one sheepdogging people. He's the one tricking people to vote for genocidal parties. I'm going to go after those people, but if you made a mistake, if you were misled, or if you was led to believe a different strategy is better, I'm not mad at you. Like, it's our job to go after these people who are bastardizing and dragging what it means to be a socialist to the right.
Well, Nick, you probably don't know this, but I have a poll going of who agrees with Hasan Piker in the chat, and 85% of people watching don't agree with Hasan Piker, but 6% do, and 9% are on the fence. So, and that's our audience. When you guys think Hasan's irrelevant, he is reaching millions of people, and they do believe him. They think he's being pragmatic based on the information that they have because they're too busy surviving capitalism.
Very well.
Thank you. 6-pack for me. Thank you for the $10. Save Abukashek and Thiago Avila, I hope I pronounced that right, from the global Samud flotilla are being illegally detained and tortured by Israel. But the remaining GSF boats are still heading for Gaza. Yeah, it seems like every time the flotillas go there, this is exactly what happens. But solidarity to them, and hopefully they get home safely. Fei Lu, I don't pay any attention to brown token politicians selected by Empire. Again, we're in the minority, guys. A lot of people are pissed off at the system. They know it's corrupt, but they're still looking for solutions within the corrupt system. The Wombat, only the people who keep the propaganda going are the issue. It's understandable to look for change, especially from Zohran. But he was giving us signs that he is going to be a servant of empire. He was attacking Cuba and Venezuela, and Maduro sitting rotting in a cell in Mamdani's New York. Victor, when the AIPAC donors were cool with him, I already knew. Yeah, exactly. There you go. The signs are there. If you're paying attention, the signs are there. And we do these shows to help you guys see and identify these signs and have receipts in case you're too busy working. Stewart Redwords. People are so psychologically abused by the political class that they're afraid to criticize someone if even their rhetoric agrees with them, even if their actions are incongruent. Bryce Smith. And a big shout out to all the old school homies joining us. What up, Nick, Zoya, and comrades? It's nice to have our little community, even if it's small. It's still full of solidarity, and we hope it'll grow in time. Radical Education. To all New Yorkers, Nick is mad on behalf of you for Mamdani failing. Not the workers, the politicians are failing. We aren't the cause. We have responsibility to fix this. Yes.
Isn't it crazy that had to be said?
Yeah, because
imagine your mind being so colonized that even has to be said. But thank you.
Indeed. Gintoki 7, what do you want him to do? It's not like he's the sitting mayor in charge, right? Protect the people in power at all costs. That's Hasan's motto. Andrew, dude, just the tip of fascism, not the whole thing. That's their campaigning slogans. Mark Puglisi, thank you for the $5. Cory Booker, when asked about genocide, don't undermine my activism.
Yeah, these comments are great. I already knew the comments would be fire. Just the tip of fascism.
Yeah, just the tip. Sucks and DC, man dummy. He's not actually dumb, though. He's a sellout. We do a disservice when we call these people stupid. They're ruthless. They're not dumb. BZ Squimby. Libs are all about vibe, aren't they? It's why they never actually say anything at all. That's right. Lots of word salad from the liberal sphere. Mic check. And if you criticize me, you're anti-me. Yeah, these people are a bunch of narcissists, really. Bryce Smith, Nick Cooking. Shelley Greenstein, he is just a politician at this point. Always has been. Kinda Blue. Nah, we still don't have those free buses. Yeah.
So don't you know why you being impatient? Don't you know Hasan Piker told you to wait? The Americans are not ready for free buses yet.
Meanwhile, China is just building like 1,000 kilometers of rail, high-speed rail. Eno Shadow Walker, don't care about Piker. Unfortunately, his propaganda impacts our lives, so we do have to dismantle it.
Yeah, I wish we was the majority, man. Like, if Hasan Piker was pulling my numbers, I wouldn't even bother with this motherfucker. I only go after him because you guys feel like he's the most popular leftist, right? I see people that I like stand up for Hasan, promote Hasan. I'm like, bro, what is going on? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, bro. So we're the minority, guys. So I know that guy don't care about Hasan, but he's the elephant in the room.
Alex Rodriguez, they said no free buses. It's discounted prices now. That's what they do. Big campaign promises and then moving the goalposts.
Of course.
They do it every time, guys. Don't hate the messenger. We're just the ones noticing and reporting. We're not the ones making them do these things. Casey McCoy, so are the buses even free yet? Nope, you heard the other guy. You're not getting those free buses either. They were just the little carrot for you to support imperialist wars and genocides. Harry Balsack, he's back. Everyone appreciates your honesty until you're honest with them. Then you're an asshole. George Carlin. Amen.
Harry Balsack, he's a connoisseur of comedy, clearly.
Yes.
Quoting George Carlin with that username, fire.
Fei Lu, I feel sorry for Americans. On one hand, yes, because they are definitely squeezing us with grocery prices, gas prices, everything. On the other hand, we have a lot of privileges that the global South doesn't, and we're failing them and ourselves. Bugman Billy, he is a total rich kid rat. Yep, just manufactured. Do you guys know that, by the way, Hasan Piker worked for the Department of Homeland Security?
Yeah, I didn't know who he was talking about. I didn't know he was talking about Zohran or Hasan.
Hard to tell.
Which one? Which rich kid pretending to be a socialist are you talking about?
Mr. Blamo, Americans should not even be surprised by people like such. Been going on for over a decade. It's just sad and pathetic to watch from outside. Yep. Radical adduction. Zoran could have the city and constant protests to push through anything with protests, having the backing of him to embolden them for change. But instead, he's helping the fight against them. Exactly. And Bernie had the backing of a massive movement, and he threw the movement under the bus.
Hey, Zoya, I'll be right back. I'll be back in a few.
Sounds good. Esdeen, Nick, 100. Casey McCoy, like they're pushing that Plantner guy, who I swear will be Fetterman 2.0. Even worse. He'll be even worse if he even wins. Raimi, I heard a big New York bank gave millions to the police union many years ago. The police exist to protect property and capital and the bankers, so that wouldn't be a surprise. That's who they serve and protect. Fine weather, Nick Cruse. Marvin Vargas, Mama Bear had AOC in tears. Poor baby bear. Yeah, little Pelosi rising. You know, Nancy Pelosi used to say some of the same exact rhetoric as AOC when her political career was just getting started, and Pelosi advocated for universal health care and all of those things. If you guys study the timeline, it will really upset you, and you will realize we're actually the reasonable ones. Leslie Stenta. So, New York City traded free buses for freedom of speech. Why are people so dumb to trust politicians? They are traitors and deserve no respect or support. They deserve gulags. Every day, Stalin is vindicated. Queer Black Socialists. DSA is fraudulent. Yep. And their membership is declining. DSA is in trouble, so they need their boy Hasan to boost those numbers. Marvin Vargas, Biden did 99% of Gaza destruction with bloody Blinken. Yeah, but I guess genocide isn't even a red line. Epstein files aren't the red line. There are no red lines. Support Democrats or you get Republicans. That's just their fear mongering every election. Damakuno, man's support for war should be a red line itself. Yep, and it's not. This is where we are. Violin, there is no left. They're all a bunch of political right. A branch of the political right. Absolutely. Shelley Greenstein, the left in US isn't left. Not at all. Not even close. M. Sparks, thank you for the $2. Leslie, I know a lot of Russians. There are many here in Phuket. I hardly see any fat Russians, and the young ones are fit and trim and good Muay Thai boxers. Health is heavily promoted in countries that provide free healthcare because when there is no profit motive, you actually want to invest in a healthy population so that you lower the cost for government. So the reason here health is not promoted is because there's a profit motive to keeping us sick. Street cat munchies. Democracy is when you kidnap 19-year-olds for the meat grinder. That's the Ukraine flavor of democracy. Bessier Furlough. They are either being paid or just that stupid. Even my dumbass can read. It's really obvious, but people are inundated with propaganda. Herd boss Messiah. Western power is nothing but tyranny and rule by war. Indeed. Wombat. Ukraine is not a fucking ally. They are literally a proxy of USA to fight with Russia. But don't tell NATO leftists that obvious truth. Yeah, NATO leftists are allergic to truth. Violin, wait till you hit decade number 5 of this same shit show. I feel you there. It's been decades for me, and not a damn thing changes. Their rhetoric doesn't change. They just rinse and repeat. So at some point, when you go through these cycles enough, you have to face the music. Rami, vote blue no matter who with a purpose. Yeah, it's like vote for Nazis with a purpose. Come on, guys, let's get into the Nazi party and change it from the inside. Morty Ferrum. Howdy, Nick. Howdy, Morty. Political homemaker. Lots of cooking going on right now, and it's not just the chicken I'm making. Lorshag, the adult in the room votes for Kamala. Yeah, apparently the adult thing to do is to support genocide. That's what Hasan wants you to believe. Gintoki, Hasan be like, shut up, you peasant. A rich American is talking. I swear that's what I hear every time he's talking. I'm glad I'm not the only one. East Bay Funk, Piker is a liberal. Absolutely. He's no different than Sam Cedar. Well, he's Sam Cedar for a younger generation, you know. His uncle Cenk Uyghur's not going to have the same appeal as Hasan doing his whole like, hey, I'm just a chill millionaire that knows what's best for the working class. Cameron O'Brien, agent for controlled opposition, in my honest opinion. Absolutely. And you don't even have to have a conspiracy. George Carlin has a great stand-up on that too, that these people have the same interest to keep the system that enriches them as it is. So it doesn't have to be a grand conspiracy. They're just all motivated by their own wealth and protecting it. Lorshak, Maduro's locked in a New York hole for having built 5 million homes in 10 years. Yeah, I mean, and Mamdani's rhetoric on Maduro is just infuriating. Bessie Furlow, Hasan Piker is a cog blocker to political change. He really is. East Bay, there is no left in America. Yeah, that's why I keep telling you guys on these streams, we just need to have a hard divorce and let go of the terminology wars. Are you for working class interests? What are your objectives? We need to keep it more material and less out of the word games. Leroy, good to see you. Gotta be patient. Hasan working on his next exotic car and house. Oh, that's right. We're interfering with his next exotic car. Our bad. Mouse, dude wouldn't last one day on a farm or doing any kind of manual labor. That's nothing scares these people more than having to actually work for a living. That's why they talk down to workers. They see us as lesser than. I can too. Hasan is 100% capitalist Republican.
I told you guys, if I may not have a big fucking platform, but I'm at least make sure my people know. That's the only thing we can do. We can only influence our own community, right? At least people in my audience gonna know what his job is.
Arbiter class. ACP isn't winning any elections unless they can seduce petit bourgeois. Actually, they already won an election. Chris Halali, I forget what position he won for, and I believe it was in Vermont, but that's pretty good for a party coming out the gate. And their main goal isn't winning the bourgeoisie elections anyways. They're building a working class party so that we can have a dictatorship of the proletariat. Darkened Nights, 100%, and then shits on people doing the work because they don't vote Democrat. Hasan has always punched down. In all the years I've been in this space, he has always punched down at any organizing, any activists, people just saying that they're struggling, people in good faith that were trying to talk to him and just let him know how difficult their living conditions are. He just talks down to people, calls them children, says they're not serious, asks for credentials. So he's a gatekeeper. He does not respect the working class. Us, as communists, as working class, we love the people. That's the difference. That's what Fred Hampton said. Our number one job is to love the people. Violin, no, the real left is here in your chat. This is it, you. Well, hopefully there's a few in the Midwestern Marks chat too, and some that aren't even online. They do exist out there. We're just not the mainstream narrative, and that's what we're working on.
Yeah.
Mitz Bits, voice of the left shills for capitalism and imperialism. That's talking about Hasan, obviously. Uncivil unrest. Nick in the lab cooking Hasan chops. You guys are making me hungry. Michael Gong Dragon. Bless you, Nick. It's how I feel every day. Bless you, Nick. Harry Balsack back. Never forget, both parties have got us to where we are today. Absolutely. And by the way, as far as a third party not being able to succeed, at some point, the Republicans were a third party and we had the Whig Party. And then the Republicans became a mainstream party. So we have precedent for it in America. And look at the Morena Party in Mexico. In the 13 years that Hasan kept telling us is not the time, they went from absolute obscurity to a mainstream dominant party that's delivering change for the working class. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm just saying it's possible that you can build a brand new ground up working class party.
I love this commentator because just hearing Zoya say Harry Ballsacks cracks me up.
Yeah, it's not something I do in casual conversation. The Gribble Report. Social democracy is the moderate wing of fascism. Yeah, great guy once said that in books that Hasan never read. David Hunter, New York City. It's not time. It's never time. That's right. These people just exist to keep telling us that it's never the time. Some hyene fire, shit libs. Now is not the time. You know what, guys? It would be great to go into Hasan's chat and just mass spam him. When is the time? What's his plan? Okay, now's not the time. When is the time? Does he have a timeline? Is there a plan? Do we wait 5 years, 10 years, 30, 100?
Another 15, at least.
David, billionaires get richer, Palantir enslaves us all, but it's not the time.
But you have towns literally ready to fucking revolt over data centers. Meanwhile, Hasan Piker, like, the American working class is not ready. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Like, are you guys seeing these town halls where these people talking about? Bro, I've seen these white people they're now talking about, the capitalist overlords destroying us. I'm like, damn. They're being radicalized, bro. They are already ready, bro. This idea that these people are not ready is crazy. That's a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, their material conditions are making them ready. People are really suffering, and that's only going to increase creating the right conditions for our message. Theodore LaRue, Nick Cooking. Mike Check, thank you for the $9.99. Chef Nick in the kitchen cooking frauds.
I'm glad everyone eating good tonight. We eating good tonight.
Marvin Vargas, thank you for the $2. NC, you ever try have Hasan on? Engage HB on any stream? I mean, Nick literally today posted that he would love a good faith debate. Hasan is never going to debate Nick because he doesn't want to get exposed like that. He has nothing to gain and everything to lose. So realistically, it's never going to happen. But of course, Hasan is more than welcome to come on and have a good conversation, make his points, and try to debunk ours.
Bro, this man definitely know who I am because I have sniped this man so many times. No, I went after him today because the guy who he called out, who he called a fucking idiot, that's a friend of mine. So when he was calling out Inhumans of Capitalism, who, like, we retweet each other all the time on Twitter, I swear to God, that's him arguing against me using a proxy, bro. Like, why you call him out? But you're not calling out someone with blue check, and you ain't calling out anyone with platform. He like call out my random neutrals and then use that as a proxy to attack my argument. Because that's why he was really upset. That and the ACP. I think the ACP is another one. Because remember, in the chat told him, he's like, hey Hasan, this guy's not ACP. He thought he was talking to like one of our homies. Like ACP, third party, RBN activist. So he's like, all right, I'm going to use him as a proxy because I would never talk to Haas. I would never talk to Eddie Liger. I would never talk to anyone who's advocating for third parties. So I'm going to attack a random X account who don't have a YouTube channel where they can respond. The fucking cowardness is incredible. He 100% know who I am, and he purposely avoid like I will tweet about him. I will reply to him. He does everything he can to pretend he don't see me. Like, bitch, I know you see me. I got like the most likes in your fucking thread. But anyway, I think that says a lot. It says a lot that he does this thing where you're looking at me while you pretending he don't fucking see me. Like, it's so hilarious. Like, it's obvious that he just want to attack people who he feel can't like attack back. And that what he did when he launched that dog power on my friend. So I had to clap back at him.
Yeah, Nick has ratioed Hasan before. He definitely knows who Nick is. He knows RBN. They are all in group chats. They're little TYT collaboration circles. They have the same messaging. So he definitely knows who it is. But like Haas said when he was on stream here, Hasan doesn't believe in giving people free clout. So he purposely goes after proxies that he can easily dismantle rather than going after the real messenger, someone that's a threat to him, someone that has been through these cycles enough to know exactly how to call out Hasan. ARJ, thank you for $10. If you're a progressive politician and support the empire's suppression of its own citizens and their imperialist goals overseas, you are just a shitlip with better optics. Absolutely. And I kind of skipped over this one. I'm sorry. M117 Gaming.
I love that name.
Yeah. Thanks for the $2. F. Goidani and Hypocritical Hasan. Yeah, that one needed to be read.
I'm a big fan of Goidani. I know a lot of people like Zohran, but I think Goidani is where it's at. Jessica Tisch's little Goy, her little pet Goy mayor.
Modem Muck, thank you for the $10. Thanks for putting in work to keep us informed, Nick and Zoya. Thank you for supporting the work. We could not do this without you. And that brings us to the end of the chat so far. Nick, are you doing another segment?
I think we'll wrap there. I'm gonna keep it just 2 hours. I think 2 hours good. But I have a lot of streams. I got a lot of segments planned. So yeah, no, I'm always back in the. I'm back in the lab. They shut my internet out. They like, bro, this motherfucker about to talk about the DPRK, North Korea. Fuck that. They took my whole internet out for 24 hours. So I was about to go live yesterday, but I have a lot of shows. I have a lot of guests. I'm planning to do show. I got a lot of people I rescheduled with. So we're gonna start another streak here soon. So a lot of content coming up. But Zoe, I'll let you close us out.
Yeah, guys, make sure to tune in Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, our regular time. But then Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to have Leif Maroof by popular request from you guys, and his team reached out to us. So that should be a really good conversation. Don't miss it on Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern time. As usual, please follow us on all platforms. You never know how long YouTube is going to let us keep doing this. So Telegram, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, and of course, Twitter. And remember that we are still doing the fundraiser, Lathe Rules. Yeah, tune in Saturday. For Bonfire, we're selling merch, anti-imperialist, anti-capitalist merch that you guys would probably enjoy wearing. They don't sell those on Amazon. And 100% of the proceeds will go to the graphic designer and Gaza funds. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Keep up the revolutionary optimism. Remember that every single thing you do matters. Don't let the establishment convince you otherwise. This is a generational project, so we will keep building it one brick at a time. Always love and solidarity.
Zoe is love. Zoe is life, my friends. See you guys on Friday.